Guys, welcome to the channel. Sunny here, and it's Friday today. We got a new round of Global Lab patch notes. We cover this on my stream at Twitch TV/bprimegaming every Friday. So if you guys want to be here and hear this live and be part of the discussion, then don't forget to go and follow me on Twitch. But first is first. Every Friday we normally get the Global Lab update, which is the chess realm for BDO, and normally it's on Global Lab on Friday, and then on Wednesday, this patch will hit the Korean server, and then the following week, we will get it globally after that. So that's how the normal patch process works. So this is around 2 weeks head notice about things to expect to BDO, and let's dive into it. Right, so first off, this is the quick overview. We got some Villia Old Moon Furniture updates, UI improvements, sea monsters, Gammoth World Boss changes, Merquin Null changes, that's the negative Karma City out in Valencia. Some other changes, and we got class changes. And this here is probably what you've been hearing everyone talking about if you've paid attention. This is a very hot topic. We got Warrior, Berserker, and Lahn. So first things first, Old Moon Furniture. They've been adding the Pearl furniture items into the game so you can craft them in the game. They're adding a new round of this. I think this is amazing. More of this is just better. Next up is some UI improvements. Recently they added a way of opening all the bundles from your workers in one go. You can select how many you want. Now they're doing it to other things as well. Great, we got the technology. We love to see it. More of these quality of life changes is awesome. Let me see, is there anything here? I don't think any of this was like a really big deal. Nope, okay. They've also been adding 2 new sea monsters. We got the Melody of the Ocean and the Mangoria Pirate Fleet. It's just basically some some RP right now info that's on them, but we'll be getting 2 new sea monsters for you guys to hunt if you're into sea monster hunting, probably in the next 2 weeks, so that should be exciting. Next up is a great quality of life here, the Gammoth World Boss. Currently, whenever you go into the phases, the boss flies up in the air. It stays there for way too long and you can't damage it. It looks like they're removing that, so it's just going to be on the ground now. We can just hit it, we can just kill it. It also means the boss is probably going to die really quick now, so you should probably get an ult out at Gammoth so you can hit it before it dies. You probably won't have time to run down there anymore if you forget the spawn time. So definitely get an ult down at Gammoth now with these changes here. Mercury knowledge changes. Currently, you have to go negative karma to be able to enter the city and get knowledge on all the things there. So they're changing that, or well, they're adding a different way of getting it. You can get some quests in different cities around Valencia. I'll be linking this in the description so you can check out the details yourself. So you can get the knowledge from Mercury without going negative karma. Some other changes here. There's some bug fixes for the Tongret Ruins, which we'll be getting globally here on Wednesday. The next patch will have the new region coming out in NA, EU, SEER, all that. So this is going to be pretty great. They're fixing some bugs here. Spawn timer, not a big deal. This one here is pretty cool. So whenever you're out grinding for the mana potion at SEER Ruins, there's a mini boss that can spawn. Most of the times, I personally just ignore him, skip him. However, he's going to give you a guaranteed pity piece drop. So if you're out grinding for a potion and he spawns, you probably want to go and hit him and kill him and get a guaranteed pity piece drop. So that's kind of nice. Next up, it's a really cool thing. They have talked and announced a 300 versus 300 PvP mode being added to the game in Camisylvia versus Odraxia, with 2 castles fighting against each other. I believe we have a picture here of the Thornwood Castle, and then you have like commanders fighting each other, sending quests out to people. And they're now adding this castle over here, which is the Camisylvian Castle. It's going to be in the game, probably in a couple of weeks. You most likely won't be able to do anything there just yet, but they are finally adding it to the game. That means we're 1 step closer of actually getting this PvP game mode into the game. So that's pretty cool. That's this here. You see the images of it. So nothing major, but it's definitely a big step closer to actually getting this 300 versus 300 mode. Next up, we got some bug fixes here. I do want to talk quickly about this one. it seems that this one right here is just like an icon change. It's not actually global staples, which we thought it was at first. I went on global, checked it out. It looks like it's just like an icon change. So nothing major, just some quick fixes here. And class changes. For a warrior, surely soon we'll get some Awakening Warrior PvE buffs, but for now we got some bug fixes. Sock Warrior got a fix where you can use spinning counter, which is the KD coming out of different things like iframes and all that. It was a bit annoying. It was only able to do the float counter after the changes last week. So this is really nice. They're fixing this so you can use the KD as well. They're removing the spacebar to activate shield charts because they are making it easier to do the spinning counter out of Q block. Next up is a really, really good bug fix, but so weird that it even happened. A couple of weeks ago, Awakening Warrior's Balance Strike started teleporting you through. So you could use Balance Strike and it would sometimes like teleport you through mobs. If you played Awakening Warrior, you definitely noticed it. So they're fixing that out of nowhere. No reason why it should have happened, but yeah, they're fixing that, and then they're fixing an issue where Gravedigger wouldn't link after slashing of the dead. So that's nice. Hopefully soon we get a real update. Okay, and this is the one that's the hot one. They are buffing Succession Berserker. But before you get your pitchforks, they are mainly buffing it in PvE. Again, before you get your pitchforks, it's an amazing class. It's a mythic class, one of the best classes in the game. However, if you actually compare it to the best grinders in the game at end-game grinding, like Sok, Wusa, etc., it is not up to par. And with the new region that we're getting on Wednesday, there is like higher DPS requirements, and you can CC the mobs and get down attacks and everything. So the focus of this is mainly PvE buffs to bring it up closer to it. And there's also some changes that affects PvP. And I think the two reasons why some people are molding over this is, one, it definitely don't need any PvP buffs, but sometimes PvE buffs will spill over to PvP. It is what it is. Definitely didn't need it. And number two is that while Berserker needs buffs to compete with the best of the best, there's a lot of classes and specs that is just way below it already. And it of course feels bad when your class needs buff to be as good as Berserker and then see Berserker getting buffed. However, there can be many reasons for that. As long as PA is still making balance patches, hopefully almost every week, eventually they'll get to them. There can be some class changes that are harder to make, takes longer to balance out in terms of buffing, because PvE buffs, if they're not just raw damage number changes, can have an effect on PvP. For example, you have some cooldown reductions on some of the abilities here. On Berserker, like this one here, Devastation, which is buff in PvE, but they will also affect PvP and be somewhat undeserved buff for that. All right, so the TLDR, let's go quickly through the notes here on Berserker. Tackling Rock is way smoother. We tested out. It's way quicker responsive. It's a pretty big PvP buff, honestly. Way faster movement. Next up here, we got some big damage increases. On Beast of Wind for PvE mainly. 25% crit rate buff in PvE on Raging Thunder, the spinning to winning. Storm Beats, some changes there. This is basically PvE. It got a PvE damage buff. PvP damage is the same. This one here is not really anything major. Frenzy Destroyer is getting huge PvE buffs. They're removing the split damage in PvE, not PvP. And yeah, that's basically, PvP is not going to be a big difference in this one. Here's more borderline the same. But in PvE, it's getting big damage buffs and removing split damage, and should be bigger AoEs as well if you're using it, because it's going to be like the max size of the AoE on all the attacks. They're also doing like the Frenzy Destroyer, additional hits on it for PvE damage here. Waking Fury. This one, we couldn't really figure out exactly how it works, but they're changing some stuff with that as well. They're moving it from being a flow from Frenzy Destroyer to being on Eerie Beast instead. Ultimate changes, that's doesn't really apply to the Prime version. So this is just like when you're leveling. No, wait, this is the ultimate. That's the flow. So that's a big damage increase as well. We're getting this one here. One more hit. Change to Headbutt, Devastation, 3 seconds less cooldown, and substantial damage increases. You're getting 100% crit rate now in PvE. PvP stays the same. And some nice damage increase as well. Ancient Wave is getting a juicy PvE damage increase. PvP damage is the same. However, it is very quick now. We tested it out on global, and it was very, very fast and responsive. You can't charge it at all. It's just insta shoots, really good, and that will probably affect PvP as well. Make it come out faster, and yeah, that's pretty nice. That's about it for Berserker. It's nothing crazy. But Berserker was like one of the most played and best classes in the game, so it does seem a bit interesting that they're buffing that right now. Next up is Awakening Lahn, who's getting huge PvP changes. A lot of this will also affect PvE, as the damage increases are just across the board. You see here, Earthly Pain getting damage increase, and then also PvP damage reduction. So a lot of damage increases on our Awakening Lahn, both for PvP, but also PvE. They're changing some super armors around. Attack speed reduction, they're moving slows around as well. They are giving slow to Taunting Death. And then so you'll be able to basically have 20% attack speed, cast speed, and movement speed slow with Taunting Death into the flow Mangler. Huge damage increases again across the board. Critical hit chance added. Yeah, I have them like we'll show them here in a bit. They're also removing a KD from Mangler and making it super armor and huge damage increase. So you might view it as a potential nerf, losing a KD but gaining super armor. Well, it's not really, right? Having a super high damage that's protected is great for group fighting. So the main focus seems to be group fighting and allowing you catches outside of your grapple in 1 vs 1. But having a super high protected damage combo in a group fight like Arena Solar or Open World PvP is massive. So you can go as a really, really good, super protected, high damage combo with re-CCs in them as well. Because they're doing another thing. Again, like lots of damage increases, like PvP reduction. Like this is a buff, by the way. PvP damage reduction lowers, that's more damage. And then they're doing this, Eradication. So they're changing the core Eradication from Forward Guard to Super Armor. And Eradication is the jump up that's a stiffen into a KD. So you can use this as well, and we have some clips here. Here you'll... That was it, here we go. That right there, that was Eradication. It's very, very quick. Super Armor, stiffen into a KD. This one right here again, that animation right at the end, that's Eradication. You can look at here the full protections on just moving around, kiting, along with massive damage buffs. It's going to be a really, really strong class to skirmish around, look for the opening, look for the catch, even if you don't have your grab ready, and then being able to do full super protected damage. We have another combo here that somebody tested out on global. Quick note about this is it does use the 50% BSR. So they removed the KD, but they added it to the 50% BSR. But you can see like a potential combo here with the protections on. And that's double KDs into each other. And then out. So like again, that did use 50% BSR. But assuming you're in a group fight, you don't need to do the re-CC. Maybe somebody else will do it. And now you can just like full blast with protection as well. I think this is going to be pretty huge for Awakening Lahns, especially for group PvP like Arena of Solare. That's going to be it for this week's patch notes. Guys, if you like this, then let me know. If you have any questions, always drop a comment. And I hope to see you on the stream soon. Maybe next Friday at Twitch TV/bprimegaming. See you all in the next one.